All right. Why don't we go ahead and begin? Thank you for joining. Happy holiday, happy Monday. I don't really have any new announcements besides the same usual stuff. The animals will probably be running around. I apologize for any internet connection, and of course your yoga practice is yours, so let this be a fun experience for you and take any modifications that you want to take. So let's go ahead and get started in a comfortable seated position. And you are welcome to close the eyes down, and on a nice exhale, feel yourself just kind of fully land on the mat. And so we'll practice for 45 minutes. And we're sitting up nice and tall, and the hands are resting gently on the knees, and the elbows are loose as well. And any muscles through the face are relaxed, the belly is soft, and the top of the head is lifting up towards the ceiling. And as we begin our yoga practice, we'll start to focus on the breath. So let that be an adventure for yourself. Go ahead and see if you can find your breath, and then take long inhales through the nose. And then really full exhales out through the mouth. And as you take your exhale, really hug the belly button towards the spine. That way you're just emptying everything out. And see if you can observe just from a place of non-judgment, just on yourself and how you're doing with the day and the week and the month. And at any point throughout the practice, the breath is such a powerful tool, and in challenging times, know that you can always come back to the breath, and things may seem just to be a little bit easier when you focus in on that breath. So take a few more deep breaths in and out. And then go ahead and gently open your eyes up. And let's take a big full breath. Reach the arms up. Maybe you look up and really lift through the fingertips. Maybe you wiggle a bit from side to side here. And then let's bring our palms together. Exhale, hands to the center of your heart. And then come back to that nice sitting up tall with the top of the head lengthening up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders. Hug the shoulders up towards the ears. And then as you breathe out, let them roll down the back. And go ahead and lower the hands down, the hand on either side, and we will come into some lateral stretches. So leave the right hand down. Inhale, big stretch up with the left fingertips. Really reach to that ring finger. And then as you exhale, stretch over towards your right. And all the way from that left hip, the side body, the ribs, through the arm, through the fingertips, should be feeling a nice long stretch. And you can drop down to maybe the right forearm or the right elbow for a bit of a deeper stretch. And then as you exhale, float your way back up through center. Left hand down on the mat. Inhale the right arm up nice and high. And exhale, reach over to the left. Being careful not to put too much weight in this left hand or forearm or the elbow. Really lengthening through the right fingertips. Another breath in. And exhale, come back through center and again to the other side. Inhale, sweep up. And as you exhale, reach. Take a breath in here. And as you exhale, let the chest roll over the right thigh. Tuck the chin, the back of the neck is nice and long. reach to that ring finger on the left hand. Another breath in. And exhale, come back up through center, however you want to dance your way up there, and to the other side. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, reach. Another breath in. And as you exhale, upper body folds over the left thigh. The gaze is right at the left knee. And you feel a nice stretch through this right side body and up near the shoulder. Another breath in. And exhale, come right back through center. And we'll do a twist to the right and the left. So an inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, nice twist over towards the right. The left hand to the right knee. Hug that belly button in towards the spine. Twist in the ribs. Top of the head lifting up towards the ceiling. And notice on the exhale if you can twist just a bit deeper without letting it feel like you're forcing it. And on your next exhale, come back through center. Sweep the arms up on the inhale. And exhale, twist. Let the shoulders relax. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Lovely. Exhale right back through center. And let's just roll the shoulders kind of up towards the ears and let them roll back. And then the ear to the shoulder for a nice little stretch. You can even take your right hand and, of course, very gentle, maybe place it right above the left ear. And just kind of give a little nudge. And if your neck is sensitive or if you're feeling pain, don't do this. And then over to the other side, or maybe the chin drops through center and then you make your way to the other side. And when that's feeling good, go ahead and lift the head up. Inhale, reach the arms up nice and high. We're going to interlace our fingertips and then flip and press the palms up towards the ceiling. And of course, your yoga practice can always have as much movement as you want it to, or stillness, so you get to decide. A breath in. Exhale, bend the elbows and let the hands come to the base of the skull. Sitting up nice and tall. And if it feels all right, you can start lifting the chin a bit up towards the ceiling. And exhale, let's release the hands, bring the chin back to parallel with the ground. And let's go ahead and come into child's pose. And taking your time here as you come into the first child's pose of the practice, looking onto the tops of your feet, check in with how the hips are feeling as you send them back towards the heels. Fingertips are reaching forward about shoulder width distance apart. And maybe the elbows are dropping down onto the mat. The belly is nice and soft and the chest is dropping down towards the ground. And notice if there's any tight gripping anywhere through the fingertips or even the toes, through the shoulders, the muscles of the face, and see if you can soften any of those areas. And then take another big full breath in. And a big exhale out. Gently find your way up to your tabletop position. And bring those knees kind of underneath the hips as you transition from child's pose to tabletop. And take gentle movements here. So the elbows are nice and soft. Fingertips are spread nice and wide. The back of the neck is nice and long. And we're just kind of moving around and feeling. And then finding your way back to a more still place, we'll come into some cat-cows. So as you inhale, let the belly button drop. And if it's okay on the neck, the gaze starts to walk its way up towards the ceiling, breath in. And then as you exhale, hug that belly button towards the spine, curl in the spine, tuck the chin. You're really engaging through the arms here as you press through the finger pads. And then inhale to your cow pose. The chin works its way up towards the ceiling. And then exhale to cat pose. Take a couple more rounds of your cat-cow, just warming up the spine and syncing it with your breath. And then returning to a neutral tabletop position. We're really pressing down through our finger pads and engaging through the arms, so it's almost like the hands are pressing the floor away from us. And let's start to slide our right foot forward between the two hands. And adjust the back knee a bit so that you're comfortable. And the right toes are facing forward. And the right knee is right over the right ankle, and we'll just do a twist to either side. So leave that left hand down. Big inhale, twist the right arm up towards the ceiling. Reach through those fingertips, another breath in. Exhale, lower that hand down. Inhale, sweep the left arm up nice and high. And exhale, lower down. So now we've got a hand on either side of the foot. Let's leave our left hand down. We'll inhale, reach the right arm up straight towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, reach over towards the right. And back through center, lower the right hand down. Inhale, sweep the left arm up high towards the ceiling. And exhale, reach over to the right. So we should be feeling a stretch through the front of the left hip and thigh here. Exhale, lower both hands down and come into your runner's stretch. Send the hips to the back edge of the mat. Work on straightening the front leg and flex these right toes towards the face. And then notice if the heart kind of starts caving in. See if we can kind of let the heart stay open and the spine nice and flat. And it's almost like you're leading with your heart as you start to fold over the right leg if you choose to do that. Start to bend the right knee, bring the right foot to the floor. Adjust the hands and let's send the right knee back. So we'll come back into our tabletop position. And we will go to the other side. So from tabletop, let's slide that left foot forward, scoot it to the middle of the mat, adjust the back knee so that you're comfortable. Left toes facing forward. Let's leave this right hand down in a big inhale, left arm reaching up towards the ceiling. Reach through the fingertips. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, sweep the right arm up nice and high. And exhale, let it go. Now let's leave the right hand on the mat. We'll inhale, reach the left arm up. And then exhale, reach over to the right. And notice if there's any tension or holding or happening through the hips or the toes. Lower that arm down. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And exhale, let it go. Go ahead, lower that right arm back down. Both hands are on the mat and transition back to your runner stretch. And take a notice how things are feeling for you. Maybe one side feels a bit different than the other. So the hips are going to the back edge of the mat. And if you choose to want to fold a bit over that left thigh and leg, work on keeping the heart open. Should feel a nice stretch all through the back of this left leg. Start to bend through the left knee, bring the left foot back down towards the mat. And then using the hands for support, let's slide the left knee back, tabletop position. And let's actually come into hero's pose. So we can tuck our toes and we're just gonna sit up nice and tall with the glutes back on the heels. If this doesn't feel okay on the toes, you can always come onto the flats of your feet. That feels okay on your ankles. But let's just sit up nice and tall and breathe for a moment. So let the shoulders kind of roll up and back. So you've got this nice wide open collarbone and heart. If you notice too much of a curve in the low back, use the core, hug the belly button in towards the spine. Top of the head lifts up towards the ceiling. And from here, we're kind of hugging energy up and in, so there's intention in the way that we are sitting up nice and tall, and the chin is tucked just a little bit. And from here, crawl back out to your tabletop position. And let's come into a high plank. So we'll send the feet towards the back edge of the mat, and the shoulders will stay right over the wrist. The fingertips are spread nice and wide. You can always drop your knees here for support. Back of the neck nice and long. Let's stay nice and strong for 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees down and then start to lower the hips down, bend the elbows, come into this nice stretchy upward facing dog. So a nice stretch on the front of the body. And then we're going to lower all the way down. So begin to really bend the elbows and rest the forehead or chin on the ground. Leave the elbows hugging in towards the ribs, but walk the hands up so they're right about underneath the shoulders. And the feet are about hips width distance apart. We're going to come into Cobra Pose. So as you inhale, peel the chest up off the mat, squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs, and feel the upper back muscles working. And so be light in the glutes, kind of press into the hips and the tops of the feet. Collarbone is nice and wide for another breath. Exhale, lower down. Maybe you rest your right cheek down on the mat just for a breath. Go ahead, bring your chin or forehead back towards the center of the mat, and we'll do that again. So on the inhale, lift the chest up off the mat. And for an extra challenge, you can actually lift your palms up off the mat. So you're really just using lots of the upper back muscles. And on the next exhale, slowly lower down. Maybe you rest the left cheek. And one more time just for fun. So bring the chin or forehead to the center of the mat. Squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs. Fingertips spread nice and wide. Inhale, peel up. Keep a nice steady breath going for 3, 2, and 1. Release and lower down. And let's bring our arms out to a wide T. So reaching out to either side. And we'll bend our knees, bring the heels to the glutes, and then let the feet fall to the right and then to the left. Nice. Okay. Let's bring our feet back down to the floor. And why don't we bend our elbows again and bring our palms underneath the shoulders. And we'll leave our knees down on the ground. Tuck the toes under. Let's press up to a modified high plank. And then if it feels all right, go ahead and lift all the way up, high plank. And let's press back downward facing dog. So maybe the hands creep forward a bit more. Bend the knees a lot. Let the head hang heavy. And then play around here. So maybe you lift the heels nice and high up away from the mat. And then as you exhale, work on sinking those heels back down towards the earth. Fingertips are spread nice and wide, pressing into the finger pads, really engaging through the arms. And a nice deep breath in. Exhale, let that breath go. Inhale, roll forward back to that high plank, and we'll come into a side plank. So there's lots of options here. Right hand to the center of the mat, and let's roll onto the edges of the feet and the left arm reaching up towards the ceiling. So if this doesn't work for you, you can always drop your bottom knee. Another breath in. Exhale, stay strong. Come back towards that high plank. Press the earth away from you to the other side. Left hand to the center of the mat. And then, like it's a nice big inhale, reach that right arm up, breath in. And exhale, lower down, high plank, drop the knees, and drop the hips again. So we'll pause here for a moment. And then why don't we send ourselves back to child's pose. We'll take 3 breaths here. And start to crawl the fingertips forward, tuck the toes under, bend the knees, hips lift up, downward facing dog. Stay here for just 1 breath and then we'll keep moving. We'll step our right foot forward. We'll come into warrior 1. So the right foot is kind of towards the right edge of the mat and we're spinning our back heel down. So the left toes are pointing up towards that top left-hand corner of the mat. We are working on a straight back leg, a nice bend through our front leg. And make sure you can see your right toes. So if you can't, scoot the right foot forward just a bit. We're really pressing down through this back heel, engaging through the leg. So let's inhale, take a breath in. And then as we exhale, start bending the elbows and kind of let the shoulder blades pull down the back. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And again, exhale, elbows bend. And one more time, inhale, reach up. And exhale, elbows bend. Let's bring the hands to our hips, straighten through this front leg, and we will start to fold over the right thigh. The hands can come down to the floor, and you should feel a nice stretch through this right leg. So if this is too much, you can step this back foot forward a bit and keep a soft little bend in the knees. And there's no need to be holding the head up, so you can release that, let the head and neck hang heavy if that's feeling okay. And then let's start stepping this back foot forward, leave the hands on the ground. We'll come into a standing split. So start lifting this back heel. In a standing split, which we usually do take, we fold in the upper body, but let's do a modified airplane. So we're gonna let the heart lift, the top of the head is going to pull forward. Use the core, hug the belly button in towards the spine, kick through this back left heel. And we'll step back, warrior two. Let the hands support you, big step back. And then adjust yourself and get comfortable. So the right leg is staying forward and bent. Now this back foot is almost parallel with the back edge of the mat. And we are reaching through these ring fingers. And like with intention. So notice if you inhale, if you can just reach a bit more. And notice if there's somewhere where you can soften. Let's inhale, flip the front palm and revolve. Reach up and then reach back. Big exhale, bring both hands down, come onto the ball of the back foot, frame the foot with a hand on either side. You can drop the back knee if you'd like. Left hand stays down. Inhale, twist and reach the right arm up. And exhale, lower down to the other side. One time, big breath in. And exhale, lower down. Let's step back, downward facing dog. And a nice deep breath in. And big exhale out. Left foot steps forward, warrior one. Left foot, yes. So make sure you can see your left toes and this right foot angled up towards the top right-hand corner of the mat. Now really press into the feet so you've got a great foundation. Reach the arms up. Okay, take a breath in. On the exhale, we'll start to bend the elbows. And just notice how that feels. Maybe other parts of the back and shoulders start to open up. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, bend the elbows. And again, inhale, reach up. And exhale, bend the elbows. Bring the hands to the hips. Straighten through that front leg. It's like the hips are pulling to the back edge of the mat, almost like that runner stretch. And the upper body starts to kind of fold forward. So drop the hands for support. Bend the knees if this isn't feeling okay, or step this back foot up a bit. So this would be more of a pyramid pose. And the head and neck can hang heavy. And then we'll set up for our standing split, but we'll modify it to the modified airplane. So bring your body weight into that left foot, lift that right heel. So the right toes are pointing down towards the ground. You're kicking out through the right heel, soft bend in the left knee. And for a modified airplane, so the heart and chest is lifting, and then to keep going in this pose, you press down through the foot and the hands actually come up off the earth and they reach back behind you. So the front of the body has that like cobra pose that we had just did towards the beginning. And then lower the hands down, bend the knees, find your way back to your warrior two. All right, feel the ground, press through the feet and lift up. So you've got a nice bend through the knee. It's right over that left ankle. Really reaching through the fingertips. The gaze is over the front middle finger. And a big inhale, flip the front palm, reach up and then back a bit. Nice side body stretch. And as you exhale, bring both hands down, frame the foot, come onto the ball of the right foot. You can drop this right knee if you'd like. Leave the right hand down. Inhale, reach the left arm up. And exhale, lower down, right to the other side. Big inhale, reach up. And exhale, lower down. Place both hands on the ground and let's step on back to down dog. Start to walk your feet forward to the front edge of your mat. And from there, we'll come into ragdoll. So bend the knees, grab opposite elbows. And relax through the head. Gently release the elbows, fingertips to the ground. And as we really press through the feet, inhale to a halfway lift. So the hands come to the shins. Top of the head is reaching forward. The shoulders are pulling away from the ears. Exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. And again, use the breath in and lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. So the heart is pulling forward, spine is flat. Breathe out and fold. We'll rise up to stand. So inhale, really press into the feet and roll on up. And then sweep the arms up with you. And from here, maybe you've got this nice back bend, gazing up at the ceiling. Ooh, that feels good. Big exhale, fold forward. Hinge at your hips, soft through the knees. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Press through the feet. Inhale, rise up. Nice big stretch. Reach the fingertips up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Press into the feet, rise and roll up. Inhale, bring the arms up towards the ceiling. Bring the palms together to touch. And as you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. From here, why don't we do some balancing poses? So feel your feet on the ground. Bless you. And let's take tree on the right side. So bring your body weight into the left foot. And we'll want the right knee to bend and then come either to below the knee or above the knee. Standing up nice and tall, a little bend through the left knee. Really pressing through that standing foot. Hugging energy up and in all the way. The top of the head is reaching up towards the ceiling. And you find something steady to focus your gaze on. Continue with a nice steady breath. And then any arm variation, maybe the hands stay at heart center or they can reach and lift up. And another deep breath in. And exhale, release, lower that foot down, shake the legs out. And let's go to the other side. So shift the body weight into that right foot. The right toes are facing directly forward. Bend the left knee, then bring the sole of the foot above or below the knee. Really grounding down through that foot. Top of the head is reaching up towards the ceiling. The heart is open, and then any arm variation that feels good. And then from here, there's always that opportunity to start walking your gaze up even higher or coming onto the tippy toe of that right foot. And on the next exhale, lower down, nice work. Why don't we come into dancer pose? So let's bring the body weight into the left foot. Left toes face directly forward. Kick the right heel to your glute. And this right hand will reach back and grab for the inner ankle. So if your shoulder's feeling tight, always the option for a yoga strap, or you can grab the outside of the ankle. But if you're feeling okay, squeeze the knees together and then start kicking the shin back into the right hand. Flex this right foot and lift it up towards the ceiling. And the left hand is kind of reaching forward and up. And the upper body is nice and light. Those right toes keep lifting up towards the ceiling for 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Then maybe bring this right arm up and over to get a nice stretch. And then we'll put our body weight into the right foot. Kick the left heel to the left glute. Left hand is reaching for the inner ankle. Squeeze the knees in towards one another. Find something steady to focus on. Then send that left shin into the left hand. Kick it back and up. Let me just see if you can get this like little floaty feeling. Right arm is reaching up towards the ceiling. The heart is opening. And next exhale, gently lower down. And then kind of just twirl those arms out. Let's bend our knees and come down to the floor. We'll make our way to a reverse tabletop. So toes are facing forward, shoulder width distance apart. Fingertips are facing towards the heels. Press into the feet and the hands and lift the hips up. You can keep the chin tucking in towards the chest, or if the neck is feeling okay, you can start to let it drop back. And then slowly start lowering down. And why don't we just lay all the way down? Let's lift our feet straight up towards the ceiling for waterfall. And bend your knees, bring the feet to the floor, and then soles of the feet come together and let your knees fall out to the edges. And then bring the knees together to touch and walk your feet out towards the edges of the mat. And then from here, walk the feet in a bit so that they're right under the knees. And you can bring your arms out to a T, and then let the knees fall to the right and to the left. And we'll do that just a couple more times on each side. All right. Keep the feet on the floor, the knees are bent. Walk the heels back so that see if you can reach them with the fingertips. So we'll come into a bridge pose. The feet are shoulder width distance apart. We'll press into the feet and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And keep the gaze right up at the ceiling as well. The knees are guiding in towards one another. We're kind of pressing into the shoulders, triceps, back up the head a bit for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly start to lower down. And from here, come into your pigeon pose. So cross that right ankle over the left knee. You can interlace the hands at the left hamstring. Pull that leg a bit closer to you for a deeper stretch. Start to find your way out of that side and switch. For a deeper stretch, you can always bring both hands to the top of the shin, the top of the right shin. Start to find your way out of that pose. And let's take a full body stretch. So spreading the toes and the fingers reach up overhead. And we'll close with a nice spinal twist. So hug this right knee into the right shoulder. And use your exhale, guide the right leg up and over. Come to the outer edge of this left thigh, working on the shoulders, staying down on the mat. And come back through center. And switch sides. Let's take another deep breath in. As you exhale, come back to center. And allow yourself to get nice and comfy here. We'll come into our final resting pose. Notice again any tension or any holding on anywhere, even through the jaw. See if you can let that go. See if the tongue can actually drop from the roof of the mouth, and you just come back to this natural rhythm of breath, and the muscles of the face relax, and allow yourself to just drop in and be fully present for the next moment. And just as we began class, take a full deep breath in through the nose. Hold it at the top. And then slow exhale out. And then again, try a inhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 2. Count of 6, big exhale out. And then nice gentle movements. Winding our way up to a seated position. So option 2, rock and roll, front to back, hands grab underneath, behind the knees. Sit up nice and tall, big breath in, reach the arms up. And press the palms together and bring them to the center of your heart. And a full breath in. Big, long exhale out. And as you're in this nice, peaceful state, say something super loving to yourself. Thank you for joining, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Hopefully you feel great.
Thank you, Meg.